Oops, sorry. Right, it's the 20th of May, 2020. Too many 20s in that.
It was a backward. Sorry.
Always want to be careful with these kind of observations, especially in front of my daughter, but strangely she mentioned it. Be very careful how I word it, for obvious reasons. But there's a guy with his two sons, you know, probably between 7 and 11 years old, and he's just being so aggressive with his encouragement for them to play the football that they're playing. And I just remember being of that age myself and knowing that not all boys want to be spoken to like that, and I know that it was very much the sort of zeitgeist when I was little. Was there was a lot of what would be referred to now as kind of toxic masculinity, sort of encouraging boys to be boys, you know, geezer, boys, boys, and it was very damaging to me. You know, I utterly hated it. And there was one point where one of the kids was sort of not quite performing to his best, his father's expectations, and he just really aggressively kind of threw water at him from a bottle. I don't know what I'm trying to gain from sharing this. It was just a bit of a shock to my system. You know, I'm sometimes when I'm out with my little ray of sunshine here, and I think, you know, when we're playing games, I think, am I a bit heavy-handed? Am I a bit over the top? And just like a lot of the crap that I give myself a hard time over, just, you know, there are some people in the world who just don't seem to have any self-awareness whatsoever.
No, don't plan.
Don't worry. They have no self-awareness over being sort of 100 times more overtly out of line than I would ever dream of being, even in private, you know? And they're just so confident in their behaviour. Anyway, it was just a bit surprising, and it was very ugly to see, and I don't like seeing boys brought up like that, you know. Football is a great game. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't do anything for me, but it doesn't have to be all about testosterone and aggression. But you know, all of the encouragement that these two, you know, they were quiet boys as well. They weren't sort of joining in. You know, you quite often see a whole family full of people who've got really sort of overt rather than aggressive sort of tone. You know, I'm not saying that all loud people are instantly aggressive, but it was, you know, the two boys were just not like that. It just makes you wonder when you view things like that, doesn't it? Sometimes, just, you know, could be reading something into absolutely nothing. But you've been there as well. You've witnessed other people in all sorts of ways, just like I do on a daily basis. And I think that what I will take from this, the positive is that I don't see it that often. You know, I see some things that I sort of think are relatively questionable, as I'm sure people do in the way I go on. You know, well, steady. But you know, it's not that common. I don't see it. You know, that's a first, and I come here every day. Yeah, 5. Four. It's more like it. So lovely what this woman's doing with making all these games and everything around the park. It's just nice, as I say, you know, to occasionally spot the darker sides of things, but the brighter side of life that's been shown here the last couple of months is definitely a much more joyous and common and illuminating thing, you know. It's am I using the word illuminating too much? Sod it. I'm not even thinking, I'm too hot to think. It's absolutely baking hot today. Really, really is.